that be you goat or be you fish, get in that comment section and be the first to declare goat or fish. Who's first? Do you be goat or a fish? Don't sit on the fence. Oh, look, it's a goat. Oh, hey, goat. Goat have been battling fish since the beginning of Goat vs. Fish. But in order to stay sharp and competitive, goat have little verses of their own. Fish are known to eat other fish and have voracious appetites. Goat, however, are no slouches in this regard and have a reputation for consuming anything. So how is it that the goat are going to train and get ready and do the necessary preparation to versus those fish? We'll show you how. This is Goat vs. Fish News. Information! Goat Ham, the first professional eating competition between goats. Let's get into that versus. Sounds like a hungry one. Move over, Joey Chestnut. There are new competitive eaters on the scene. Their names are Cash, Rufus, Malamar, Romeo, and Butterball. However, they won't be eating hot dogs as they are strict herbivores. They are also goats. Celebration for goats! Celebration for goats! Goats have entered the eating competition. Now, it should be versed here that the image is not of the competitive eating goats. This is just some kind of Shutterstock image of goats. Now, we know that a fish would say, oh, all the goats look alike. Oh, I can't tell one goat from another goat. But, of course, we know goats can tell goat from other goat. And fish, you'd better start being able to distinguish goat from goat because you never know which goat is going to be versing you. But as a matter of goat versus fish information, we must make it clear that the goats that we are observing, while definitely goat, that they are not the competitive eating goat. Maybe we'll get to look at those goat. We hope we see the goat. For the past several years, the Riverside Park Conservancy has hired goat gardeners. Goat gardeners. Hey, I can fix Amber Heard. Aren't you a gardener? Does that make you a goat? The Riverside Park Conservancy has hired goat gardeners. The goats from Green Goats in Rhinebeck, New York, Goat vs. Fish has been there, provide a vital services just by doing one of their favorite things, eating. Celebration for eating. Celebration for eating. Celebration for eating. This is just a fence. Hey, are we doing? Is there something busy happening over there, Sunshine? Some critical information? Perhaps there is. Perhaps there is. Perhaps there is. Goat versus fish. Perhaps it is a critical versus. Invasive plants and steep slopes are difficult for humans to deal with. Are humans goat or are they fish? They must be fish in this versus. If it's about goats eating and it's difficult for someone else to deal with, then the someone else probably has to be the fish. So we'll just say the humans are fish in this versus. The fish are having trouble doing the eating. Here come the goats. But no problem at all for goats. The goats also leave excellent fertilizer behind to help the native plants thrive. Isn't that nice, Sunshine, that the goats just freely deliver fertilizer onto the land?
Yes.
Is that something that you are fond of doing? Do you like delivering free fertilizer to the land, being a goat yourself?
I deliver free fertilizer to everybody, even those who don't want fertilizer.
Oh, really? Yeah?
Yes. It's a celebration for eating.
Celebration for eating. Celebration for eating. And fertilization. And fertilization. Would it be fair to say that you're a fertile goat?
I don't smell like one.
You don't smell like a fertile goat?
I smell like fertilizer.
Well, we could leave that up to the fish to decide. Fish could take a whiff of the sunshine and decide if They think that you're a fertile goat. Maybe they want to versus. Maybe they want to versus you. Maybe if you win this eating competition, maybe winning the eating competition would be the perfect sign of your fertility. Maybe that's what it would be. Your fertility, your fertilization. The verses continue. This year, the goats are going to show off their eating chops at GoatHam 2025, the Great Goat GRAZEoff. The event taking place on Saturday, July 12th at 11 a.m. This was like a million verses ago, but we're still covering it as if it's happening right now because time is but a fence to Goat vs. Fish. It's supervised by the same company that runs Nathan Hot Dog Eating Contest. Well, fence that. And other questionable food events. All food events are questionable, and the question is, are you goat or are you fish? Nathan's Hot Dog, are you goat or fish? Joey Chestnut, are you goat or fish? GoatHam claims to be the first ever professional eating competition between goats, and I see no reason to question this, says the writer of this article. And here's the verses. Let's expand on those goats. Gotham 2025, the Great Goat GRAZEoff. We've got Romeo, Malamar, Butterball, Cash, and Rufus. And each of these goats look a little different from one another. They've got a whole range of goats. Now we want to know from the congregation watching Goat vs. Fish live streams now, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Which of these goats looks like the hungriest goat? Which of these goats do you think is going to win the Great Goat GRAZEoff? Now, they're putting Butterball in the center, and Malamar and Cash also have a big size. Romeo and Rufus are put slightly smaller to the side. And let us also note, Goat and Fish here watching Goat vs. Fish. Where does it say, Sunshine, that this versus takes place?
July 12th on Riverside Park.
Riverside Park. And what's in the river? The fish are in the river. The fish are in the river. And the goats are going to the side of the river to have an eating competition. And those goats are going to be munching and munching and munching and munching and munching and munching away. They're at the side of the river, and the fish are just going to be watching those goat, watching those gluttonous goat and their epic consumption. And the fish cry out. Where's some food for me? I am but a poor, hungry fish who needs just a crumb of sustenance. Please, goat. Please, goat. Please, goat, you're overeating. You're going to harm yourself. Please, can't you spare a scrap for the fish? Of course, the Goat GRAZEoff happens at Riverside Park, where they can versus the fish. And the author says, I'm rooting for Romeo, as he describes as your forever best friend. He wants your hugs and snuggles at night. Aww. And he knows he can't solve all the world's troubles, but he'll be by your side through it all. Well, that's very interesting. Notice this. Previously, meet Karumbi, the world's shortest goat. Have you ever heard goats snore and goats served at coffee shop drive-thru? Seems like we have entered a goat news portal where we could find all kinds of information about goat. You like the close-ups? Oh, hey. It's the Shrine of Goat vs. Fish. So here, the competitive goat eat-off at Riverside, and we notice Sunshine on the musications. It's Sunshine. Is that not reminiscent of the aristocratic goat theme that you once played once the goat was on the verses once?
That is the aristocratic goat theme.
Yes, it is. And these goats must be quite wealthy to be able to afford to eat such food. So let's hear it. Goat versus Fish looks at these goat. Goat versus Fish looks at these goat. And Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish is going to say. Goat versus Fish is feeling like cash. Some say Goat versus Fish is a profit. Some say Goat versus Fish wants to make a profit. But Goat versus Fish is going to say that cash would be the winner. Now, this versus we hear has already happened, but nevertheless, Goat versus Fish is going to make the post prediction that cash was the winner of the great goat GRAZEoff. Sunshine, looking at these fine goat, do you have a favorite in the great goat GRAZEoff? And please explain your reasoning, because as we know, reason is one of those amazing faculties that we get to use and express here on Goat versus Fish at all verses.
I don't like cash because it flew on its private goat plane to go to the great goat GRAZEoff.
But you are known to Sunshine, though. Are you not known? Are you not known to be a goat who has enjoyed some contributions, some wealthy accommodations, and some patronization? Have you not? Have you not, goat? Isn't there little verses about that, goat?
Nah, it's protecting other difficult goat that's preventing unification. Cash goat prevents the other goats from attaining unification by taking funding from Big Fence and protecting all the kid unifiers in the Big Fence.
And by Big Fence, you are, of course, referring to the big fence of the fence sitter who chooses neither goat nor fish, that divides the goat from the fish so that they cannot properly versus and form unification in Goat versus Fish.
Yes, and profit off them at the same time.
And profit off of them. And we have Hem Mods in the congregation who says, I'm going with Malamar. He looks like the dark horse pick that no one expects. Well, Goat versus Fish would definitely not expect that, because is a horse even a goat or a fish? This is not a competition for horses. This is a competition for goats. This is not a competition for horses. This is a competition for goats. Who wins the great goat eat-off? Which goat will triumph? If you are watching this versus, we implore you to go and look at the news, see who won that great goat eat-off, and leave a comment below. Leave a comment below saying who did triumph, and any shenanigans that may have happened during the great goat GRAZEoff at the riverside. May Goat versus Fish also remind you that be you goat or be you fish, get in that comment section and be the first to declare goat or fish. Who's first? Who's first? We're looking at you, YouTube video, because eventually we're going to send this to an editor who's going to turn this into a news story and put it on the YouTube of Goat versus Fish. We're looking at you, YouTube. Are YouTube goat or are YouTube fish? Leave a commentation, like and subscribe to Goat versus Fish. And appreciation. This has been information by Goat versus Fish.
I like Meloma.
I do